Welcome. In front of me is a Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra, and today I'll show you a couple tweaks and the tricks you can do on this tablet. So, I'm going to start off by opening up the settings, and we're going to begin with the display section. Here we have a couple simple options. So, dark light mode, I can choose whichever one you want. Also, if you tap on a text, you can choose the schedule turn on. So it will either set itself to sunset to sunrise, or you can set it on a custom timer, and the device will basically be switching between these two based on the time, which is a pretty nice option. Next is the motion smoothness, which allows us to choose either standard 60 Hz, which will be a little bit more choppy looking, like you can see right here, or the adaptive, which is 120 Hz refresh rate, which you can see right here. So it gives you this nice buttery smooth on scrolling, for instance, feel. But if you want to preserve your battery, then you can select the standard. This will give you a better screen on time. Now moving on to the next option, which is one that I personally don't like on Samsung's, is the screen mode, which is usually or always set to vivid. Now Samsung does a little bit of an overdone color, so they are a little bit too bright and colorful. Now I do understand the reason for this. So if you're looking at this device in the store and you have other tablets and phones just all around, one next to another, you'll probably be caught by the one that has the most vivid looking display, hence vivid mode. But for general usage, at least for myself, I do run my Samsung device on natural, which gives me a little bit more toned down colors, but I do prefer them. They are not as harsh and obviously look more realistic. So that's what I do personally prefer. Now moving on, we have the edge panel right here. So it's this thing that you can probably barely see right here, this white thing. You can swipe out and this will bring out your apps right here. You can basically access all the apps. All right, there's no other pages, so it won't allow me to swipe, but if you have more than one page, you can just swipe to the side and open up apps. Now we also have the edit button right here, and this will allow you to add more apps in here. Now we can add a lot of them. We start just swiping. Whatever, good enough. As you can see, once you start adding more applications, it will extend it. And I believe we can also make app combos. So if you have split screened a couple applications, let's just close this. There we go. So we can, for instance, open up one app. There we go. Let's get the second one, like Firefox. Good enough. And there we go. So it shows up like this. And now I can close this. There we go. Whip out the panel and hopefully, come on. Apparently I can't open all of them even though it saved it. So there might be some wonkiness to this for some odd reason, as you can obviously see. Maybe I just need to open up all three apps and then it will launch it. So Firefox, settings, and photos. Nope. So for some reason this is bugged. Maybe I overdone it. Let's try with just two apps. Right, this is one, and this is two. Samsung, can you actually freaking work? Are you satisfied now? Yes, there we go. Now we can actually see that these are two apps. Let's see if this will now allow us to do this. If I close this, I guess it's just bug, because as you can obviously see, it adds these applications right here, but it just doesn't want to freaking open them up. Again, Samsung. Device worth $1,200 if I'm correct. Awesome design, Samsung. Anyway, so let's move over to something else. Now, I did touch upon the panel, but there's also additional functionality to it. You can add pages to it by going into the settings, and you have also other use case scenarios for it. So you can, for instance, add some smart select, you can add people to message, compass, weather, and so on. Caveat for the weather, it takes for effing ages to load, so it's not the best thing to actually have added. I tried it myself, and it's quicker to open up the search and open up weather then wait for this garbage to actually load up. So just pointing that out. Rest of the thing, the apps that you can see right here, or widgets, however you want to classify them, work just fine, so don't worry about that. And additionally, you can download more from the Galaxy Store, but even though you already paid $1,200 for your TV-sized tablet, you will also need to pay about 99 cents per widget. Fantastic. I'm not salty, no, not at all. So, moving on to things that we don't need to pay for, we can now move over to the taskbar. So the taskbar is basically things that you cannot see right now, so let's put something like a browser. And we have our taskbar at the bottom right here. So this will show up anytime you open up any application. You can basically swap between apps like so. You can split screen quickly. Come on. Samsung, come on. I'm not asking you to do groundbreaking things right here. It's just a split screen function. Great. Awesome. That's how it's supposed to work. Congrats, you finally did it. Okay. Wow, there's a lot of problems right now with this device. Awesome. As you can see, you have the taskbar. Now, typically, it will work just fine. I have been using that. Well, actually, that would be a lie. I haven't been using much of a taskbar on my device. I've been using the Fold 4. And the reason I would love to use this, and on Fold 4, as far as I tried it, it worked fine. It didn't have this kind of problems as I have right now. But again, it's Samsung. So if you download a third-party launcher, which probably a lot of the people that want to customize their device will want to do, surprise there, Samsung, then the taskbar becomes inaccessible. And just to kind of prove the point, I'm going to get on my device. So here is my device. Now let's actually open up something that I know that won't be edgy. There we go. So here, as you can see, there's no taskbar, which there should be. So if we go into the settings and we go under the display, and where is it? Oh, there we go, taskbar. Yeah, no, get effed, Samsung says, because you can't use a taskbar with a third-party launcher. Now, annoyingly enough, the option is accessible as long as you don't set the effing launcher as a main launcher, because Samsung, God forbid, allows you to do something that you would like to do with not your device, because let's be honest, at this point you're just renting it from them. So yeah, keep that in mind, that this becomes it's a selling point of their devices, but it's completely inaccessible to you, even though it's part of Google Android. But yeah, Samsung made sure that you cannot access this in any kind of effing way, as long as you're using a third-party launcher. So I just want to point that out, because it's a absolute middle finger from Samsung. So I don't want to omit that. I want everyone to know how scammy this is. So yeah, anyway, now let's move over to the next one. We already touched upon the navigation bar. Let's go to the advanced feature, which actually doesn't include any kind of scamminess. So let's go to settings, advanced features, right here. And in here we have a couple different things. Number one, we have the side button. Let's be honest, it's a power button, so I prefer to name it that way and also make it function that way. There we go. No one uses Bixby because everyone prefers Google, not Bixby. It's useless. So here we go. So power off menu, it's a power button, it should function as such, and calling it a side button is absolute stupidity because we also have volume buttons on the side, literally under your side button. So hence, how do you differentiate them, Samsung? So there we go, that's one. Moving on, we have the where is it, motion and gestures, and here we have a bunch of different things that are associated with the big form factor and also their multitasking focus. And these will work no matter if you're using a third-party launcher or not. So congrats for not actually removing the functionality here. So wait, actually I'm in the wrong place. This one? Ah, there we go. So it's multi-window, my bad. And here we have the swipe to split screen. Now you can tap on the text right here and it will show you the shortcut to basically have this. So wonk, and should have it like this. Come on. Yeah, I've been trying that, unless I need to leave. There we go. So I think I needed to leave the setting to actually have it function, or just have a bigger spread. So that's one. Then we have the this one, which is objectively a little bit more useful and also easy to trigger. So when enabled, you can just kind of do this, whoop, and have a tiny little window that you can drag around. You can also resize it, minimize it, maximize it. And here, as you can see, you can also quickly split screen it. So it gives you a plethora of options right here that you can utilize. And we have also show multi-window menu with one window. Now personally, I don't really like this. Just to showcase this, when you enable this, it gives you this little bar right here. When you tap on it, it gives you the options to split screen, pop-up window, and close the thing altogether. Now the reason I don't really consider this a good option to enable is because you're just on a single window. You already have a quick way to do this if you choose to. So this sometimes will get in the way depending on what application you have, and you might press it by mistake, you might drag it by mistake, which just kind of gets in the way. So I like to turn that off. Now last thing in here is the full screen for split screen applications, and just to showcase this in this way, you have the animation, so it just tries to accommodate the split screen application to fit a little bit better to your display. So typically you'd have some bezels and stuff. It just tries to remove them and give you a bigger split screen experience, which is a nice thing with basically zero downside. So recommend having that. Now moving on to the last option, it's going to be the adapt sound. I think that's how it's pronounced. And it's going to be in sounds and vibrations. At the very bottom we have the sound quality and effects, and then we have adapt sound, and this basically allows you to choose from the presets options of your age. So you have the off, which gives you basically nothing, but then you have under 30, 30 to 60, and 60 and over. And what it will do is adapt the sound to your hearing, and more precisely it tries to adapt to the typical hearing loss based on age, and boost these frequencies that you no longer hear as well as, for instance, when you were a child, therefore giving you a little bit of a better, fuller listening experience. Now that being said, this works only with headphones. So if you have some wireless earbuds or just cans over your ears, this will work. It will not work with the actual speakers on the device. This is strictly for additional like hearing devices like headphones or earbuds. Now that being said, there's additional option which I recommend utilizing instead of the pre-made ones, which is test my hearing. Now I won't be able to showcase this just because I don't have any headphones plugged in, but the moment you are, it will start playing a very, and I mean very faint sounds, so like beeps and just high-pitched noises in your left or right ear, and all you need to do is select if you can hear that sound or can't. And depending on if you can hear it or not, obviously choose the correct, the actual answers right there. Don't just select that you can hear everything just to don't get your feelings hurt. Select it correctly, and once you do, it will then use that information, gather what kind of noises you hear less and what you hear better, and then create a custom tailored equalizer specifically for your hearing that should improve the sound quality of anything that you'll be listening to. It's a very nice option that, as far as I know, is only accessible on Samsungs, so I highly recommend utilizing it. Now, with that being said, this would conclude all the tweaks and tricks that I want to share with you, so if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.